And there's Roswell. We're back with some more passwords. Sorry about the gap. I wasn't planning to take a break, but things happen. So we are getting things going again. This is going to be Roswell's Day 9. And what I'm doing with this, we did leave the last Roswell video about to talk to Oz. I'm just going to jump over that bit and pick up the following morning because pretty much what you've seen before with Dean's and Tyson's routes. So I decided let's just skip over and start things up from the morning. It's just a little easier. Here we go. Day 9. I opened my eyes slowly, waking right where I fell asleep. My phone, now dead, was still in my hand and I flexed my grip around before setting it on the bedside table. Quietly I looked around the room, searching it, wondering if by some miracle that I was somewhere else. It wasn't always this bad. Some days were easier than others, for sure. This was for sure a day where I just wanted to crawl back into bed and get some sleep. I almost scrambled under the covers and lay down, eyes still closed. Sleep found me quick again, but it only felt like minutes before I woke to someone coming into my room. The steps were uncertain and measured and... Oh no, don't! I opened my eyes just now to see Roswell halfway to my bed, desperately clutching a mug of coffee that was threatening to spill over from how full it was. With a sigh, Roswell got himself back under control and edged closer to the bed. In view of him spilling the whole cup, I chose not to move until he sat it down on the bedside. Good morning. Oh, good morning. He sounded chipper, or at least in good spirits. If only I could steal some of that. How did you... I flashed him a weak smile, but he saw through me. What's wrong? What happened? I had a rough night. Did anyone do anything? Rough nights are usually caused by something, after all. If it's because of me, I'm sorry. Really? No, it's not you, Roswell, promise. And what? I looked away, ballooning my cheeks with air and wondering how much I should tell him. Looking at him, he looked away soon after. Not that I blamed him. I want to, but... He fidgeted, unsure of what to say or do. Not that I blamed him. He's quirky and intelligent, but his people skills were lacking. Not that mine were much better some days. If I think of something you can do, I'll let you know. His attention turned to me briefly, for he looked elsewhere again. Promise? I promise. I reached over and took one of his hands, giving it a gentle squeeze. He squeezed back, a notable red tinge in his cheeks beneath his fur showing through for a moment. But even if I don't know, thanks for checking up on me. Oh, you're welcome. Roswell sighed out. I owe you an apology. I blinked, confused as to what he was apologising for. He continued when I didn't immediately reply. His voice was held low, quiet as if he was ashamed of what he was saying, but his pace implied he'd rehearsed. I understand the whole bunch of things have changed in the time I was gone. You and Tyson, for instance, I get on well enough with Orlando, and Hoss is fine too, I guess. With a sigh, he scratched his head. The assumption was that I guess I could just move back and pick up like nothing was different. Which the more I think on it, just seems childish. I shook my head. I mean, we kept in contact, right? Sure, it was letters and email, but you never really left. Roswell sighed out, looking me over. Real world is going to be difficult, isn't it? What I wouldn't give to just stay in school. My school, though. Well, I was good at school. Homework, academics, plus being at the top of the class was nice with the attention and praise. And the bullying? Okay, that not so much. I'd rather avoid that if I got a do-over. As much as I want to avoid it, I think I'm a little bit thankful for it. I blinked, not expecting Roswell to come up with such a thing. Suppose in the sense that being bullied by Tyson meant I was ready for what to expect moving forward? He grumbled, fidgeting again. I'm sorry that... Well, we kissed, really. I think I jumped the gun on that one. It takes two to kiss, so I was just as much his fault as Roswell, although before I could say this he continued. It was jealousy, I think. Seeing you look at Tyson with adoration and with such awe. Orlando, you're calm and happy, but... He trailed off, leaving me to tilt my head in confusion as to where he was going with this. I just don't get it. Why Tyson? Why not me? I smiled softly, dipping my gaze down as I thought over my reply. It's kind of like how you seem as an older brother, right? Or did seem like that anyway. When I first stood up for him, it's because I'd learned what the right thing to do was. And then I guess since then, he's kind of looked out for me because I gave him a chance. Roswell's eyes were darting back and forth on the floor as he tried to come to terms with what I just said. He looked out for you? Nodding, I continued. Or when I was sick, he ditched school just so I wasn't lonely. Or when I was stressing about a test, he got me the answers. Not that he told me if he stole them or not. He'd just make sure I was okay from time to time and take me places on the weekend, just to stuff he thought was cool. Sure, he sort of decided stuff by taking charge, but he wasn't ever really demanding, if that makes sense. Never asked for anything either. He just always made sure I was cool with what was going on. He took me along for the ride. That doesn't sound like the bully I once knew. I'd almost think you were talking about someone else entirely. He's changed. Or maybe it wasn't that he's changed, but he had someone looking out for him for a change. He's basically like a big brother, I guess. Roswell nodded slowly, processing what I just said. Well, I guess today's apology day. Be it, I don't know, something long and drawn out or just a quick one. He's a hard one to read. Oh. It was nice to hear that he's going to be apologising for his behaviour, but a worry in the back of my mind made me fearful of how Tyson would take it. Did you want me to be around for that? I'm happy to be if it'll make things easier. Oh, no, this fight I want to handle myself. No offence, but I can't do this by myself, then it's not going to be mean as much, right? Well, I guess so, but if you want help, well, I'll be fine, I think. Once I figure out how I want to phrase things, I should be good to go. Speaking of, I should let you get up and get your day started, huh? Oh, yeah, I guess I've slept long enough, huh? Yep, well, I'll see you later, Dave. Roswell shuffled off, giving me a wave as he closed the door behind him on his way out. I downed the coffee he brought me before taking on the monumental effort of getting out of bed. Dressed and as ready as I could be, I made my way downstairs. At first glance, it seemed as though there wasn't anyone else around. It felt lonely, but I knew that I needed the space to think things over. Where were the others, though? Were they all separated, or were they together? I grumbled, digging my fingers into my head and lightly tugging on my fur. It was only when Benson cleared his throat that I took notice of him, standing off to the side, watching me curiously. Are you quite all right? Oh, sorry, I didn't see you there. I haven't been here long, but you seem distraught. Maybe, actually no. Yes, I am, just... I threw my hands up, while then the entirety of my body slumped just shy of being enough to make me fall to the floor as I groaned. Last night took a lot out of me. Did you make the most of it, though? I guess. I don't really know if it's gotten me anywhere, though. Indeed, Master Oswin mentioned as such when I brought him his breakfast. Was he saying it about him or me? He's undecided about himself. All I know is that he was eager to get to his lab this morning to do something. I may have been around a while, but when the Master goes on about... Benson paused, toying with his moustache while he pondered something. The more technical aspects of both his hobbies and qualifications, I find myself at a loss. Oh, well, okay. Maybe I'll find out in a few days then. What makes you say that? Oh, he said in a few days he'll show me something, so... I don't know, maybe it's something involved in that? I wonder. Ah, yes, before I forget, your laundry is almost ready. Oh, great. I would advise against being so messy in future. Pumpkin stains are easy enough to get rid of. Other things, not so much. Promise. I'll bring your clothes to your room sometime today. Oh, okay. Sorry for the mess. I shifted on the spot, uncomfortable. Now, my boy. If I've had to clean up after Master Oswin, I'm sure your room will be fine by comparison. Is he really messy? Oh, you have no idea. Now, I best be off. A good day, Master Dave. Oh, see you later, Benson. I watched Benson move towards the stairs and about halfway up before continuing on. I found myself looking around an empty room again, and I scratched my head as I took a whiff of the air. I could still smell the lingering scent of toast along with coffee. I wandered the other side of the room, following the scent. By the time I was near the door leading to the kitchen, I found myself looking down, skirting around a particular spot on the floor that looked somewhat familiar. Once again I was alone, and this time sighed out without restraint. As bad as it was, I was half expecting Orlando to be in here. They just had to be elsewhere in the house, right? The smell of toast was stronger in here, but I didn't want toast. Whenever I thought of my dad, I thought back to the breakfast that we had, that he made for the two of us when Mom was at work or otherwise just not around. That was usually hard-boiled eggs, fruit, sometimes waffles, if burnt ones. Of the options available, I just grabbed a banana. Part of me wondered what Dean would have said if he saw me eating this. Probably like, oh, I know something else you could put in your mouth that's the same shape. I shook my head, a slight smile forming. The consistency was nice, if anything. Based in the kitchen with my banana, I ate bite after bite, thinking things over. Was this what it was like to be a cop? Figure things out, accept the potential risk of dying in the line of duty? I left the kitchen and found myself outside. Stretching, I felt my spine pop and joints loosen. The plan was to go for a walk, but I didn't really know where I was going. The front yard was expansive, the driveway leading further down to the site beyond the trees. Maybe following it towards the main road would be an idea, in case we needed to escape. Burying my hands in my pockets, I started a slow stroll towards the trees and down the driveway. It was quiet. Even the sounds of insects and birds were muted, almost if there was this silence that was draped over the place. Light filtered down from the canopy above, lighting my way down the winding driveway. Everything looked the same, and around each turn seemed to be just more driveway. If I had my phone on me, I would have been able to check how long I'd been walking, but it felt like a solid hour with no headway. With a sigh, I looked back. The way I'd been looking just the same as what lay in front of me. Taking the load off on the side of the driveway, I let my mind wander. It'd been about a year since it happened. Some days were better than others, but even after this long, I refused to believe it had happened at all. Orlando kept reminding me to accept it and try and move on. I know that because of it I've withdrawn. But really, what does he know? None of them, at least as far as I could tell, knew what it was like. Which is probably why this whole ordeal with Oswald was putting me at odds. I wonder if it was worth bringing it up with the others, if seeking help from the others was worth blowing Oswald's cover. At least until I could figure things out, I was in this by myself. Grumbling, I stood back up, shooting a look down the driveway. I could leave now, put all of this behind me and just run. Looking back to the way I'd come, I grimaced. Running would maybe keep me safe, but what about the others? If I wasn't around to stop them from dying, would it just keep happening? The stress was making me tug at my fur, a habit I'd picked up from Tyson when he was upset. Why me? Groaning, I started to head back to the mansion, shoulders slumped and dragging my feet. As I trudged back the way I came, I wondered what Roswell's take on this would be. He always had an interesting way of seeing the world. Maybe being aboard would make it easier to have a read on Oswin. I smirked, the in-joke flashing to the forefront of my mind. But often we said racist to one another, I was starting to wonder where the actual line was drawn. By the time I reached the front of the house, I was tired again. Be it the rough night or the walk, I wasn't sure which. Either way, I was ready for something to eat, or at the very least another chance to sit down. My hand went to my pocket to check my phone, patting it down for reasons I had left it up in my room to charge. Was it lunchtime? I wanted it to be. I wandered back inside and heard people nearby. After having missed them for breakfast, I was eager to see what they were up to. As I entered the room, I saw a heated discussion led by Hoss between the two other thieves nearby. None of them seemed to pay me any mind as I entered. By comparison, though, the others were in a pause in their conversation, with Orlando looking anywhere but the other two he was sitting near. Oh, Dave, perfect timing. Perfect timing? For what? I eased closer carefully, wondering what I was about to get wrapped up into. To tell these two off, they're being mean. Oh, guys, being mean is bad. We're not being mean, we're just having it all fun is all. Oh, well, I like fun. Fun is good. Don't fall for it. I don't understand. What's wrong with what we were saying? If you have stuff in your beard, someone should tell you. Orlando grumbled to himself, shaking his head before resigning the point. Oh, by the way, what's the time? My phone's dead. It's dead. You didn't charge it while you were sleeping. Oh, you forgot. No, I didn't forget. I just, So, lunch. It's lunchtime, right? Oh, it's all right. Benson made his lunch before moving off to go something else. Not sure what, though. He seems to be in a hurry. Hold on, you all eaten? Oh, for the most part. We looked around for you, but figured you couldn't have gone far. Well, what if I'd been killed? I snapped out suddenly, causing the three of them to look quickly at one another before facing me. Feeling foolish, I fell into the nearest chair and buried my face in my hands. So I'm going to go bring you lunch. And I'll help, yeah. You could probably use some coffee. Roswell and Orlando scurried off quickly, leaving me with Sal. He eyed me carefully before settling back down enough to say something, voice brought down to a hushed tone. You okay? I groaned, rubbing my face. I'm fine, just still... I gestured, hands in the air, trying to wave off my own worries and by extension Sal's. It seemed to work enough that Sal settled back into his chair without a fuss. My outburst had brought the other three over, seemingly done with their conversation for the time being. Did I hear you correctly, Dave? I kept my eyes averted, looking towards the door to the kitchen, feigning to be eager to get my lunch. You did. Well, can you blame him, though? How are you feeling outside of that? Oh, where did you disappear to? Have an adventure? I just decided to wander around for a bit. After I got up, had a bite to eat and figured I'd walk down the driveway and see what I missed when we arrived. Anything good? Not really. There really wasn't much between you and the main road from memory. Well, that was some long driveway. You're telling me I didn't even make it to the main road? No surprise. It explains why you're missing. Maybe just let us know exactly where you're going next time? Okay, sorry. A couple of us were worried. Oh, good thing you're stuck to a path, though. Or as Tyson said, try to let someone know when you go in next time. I rolled my eyes, and so I might have been coddled like this, but no one really kicked up a fuss about Roswell heading into the forest by himself. Okay, I promise the next time I go wandering, I'll let someone know which direction I go in. What were you guys talking about when I arrived? Seemed intense. Dean looked between Tyson and Hoss, taking a step back. Don't worry about it. It wasn't important. Not important? I'll have you know that it's very important. What is important? Well, some show Hoss wants me to watch. Apparently some guys pose at each other and all have the same name. They do not all have the same name. You haven't even seen an episode. You might still like it. What makes you think stopping time and dropping road rollers on people makes for a good show? Whatever, it sounds dumb. Oh, if this is the show I'm thinking about, that's a bunch of punching too. Punching, huh? Really? That's what sells it for you? Well, it makes sense to be more sold on that. Hey, I've not watched any of your cartoons before. Cut me some slack. Anime. Whatever, same thing. Hoss's eyes bulged for a second before Dean chimed in, trying to curb the conversation. So Dave, what are you planning on doing today? I looked between Hoss and Tyson for addressing Dean. I think I'm just going to keep my options open for now. Fair enough. If you want some company, though, feel free to come bother me. Otherwise, I'll probably just tag along with these two and check out this cartoon. Ignoring the fact it's not a cartoon, I've picked you for be interested, Dean. What? I'm allowed to try new things, right? Well, at least I won't be suffering alone with this. I looked back over the door leading to the kitchen just as Roswell and Orlando were emerging from it. Roswell had a mug and Orlando had a plate stacked with a couple of sandwiches. I wandered away from the other three towards them, seemingly joined by Sal on my way over. 1 coffee. And 2 sandwiches. I felt a hand on my shoulder, looking to Sal, who joined the conversation with a comment on his own. And 3 of us. Roswell counted us off with his spare hand, staring down at his counter fork, confused. So what are you guys doing the rest of the day? It looks like the others are off to go watch some anime. Oh yeah, what are they watching? Maybe we should all go. Given Dean's reaction, I don't think it's something we're all going to enjoy. Hoss picked out something too, I don't know actually, but if I said road roller... Oh, bold move on his part. So I think that's either going to go very well or very poorly, depending. Is that bad? Well, if I remember correctly, the first scene in the first episode, well... What? Well, probably better you don't know, Sal. Well, at least we know that's off the table as a joint activity. Yeah, but hey, while they're doing that, you guys must have something in mind, right? I was considering a swim, but now I'm not too sure. I'd still like that lesson if that's all right. I'm happy to give you that lesson still. Assuming that's still comfortable for you, just not today.
Oh, all right.
I just need to clear my head of a few things.
Oh, why don't we play a board game or something to pass the time? No point in the others doing something when we could also do something.
Sure, I'm down for a board game.
Want to join us? You're welcome to if you're not doing anything.
Sure, I'm down to play for a bit. I don't think I want to be wandering around anymore after my walk anyway.
How do we feel about Monopoly?
Or Clue? Gravel? I turned my attention to my sandwiches, seemingly two different kinds. The first looked to be something with chicken, lettuce and mayonnaise. Looked like it had cheese on it too. The second was the one I was more keen on, egg salad. I just hoped it tasted good, but I had faith that if Orlando made it, he wouldn't do me wrong. There was nothing like having a good meal, something I was reminded of while I was halfway through my first sandwich. Less cranky, less stressed. Who knew that having a decent feed would make you feel better both physically and mentally? By the time I'd downed the second one, it looked like everyone was ready to start heading off to go do their thing. I took my mug and plate into the kitchen, put it into the sink to be washed. Seemed like the other dishes were still here, so I felt less bad just adding to the pile. Still, I shook my head. Benson would probably get to it later, right? Even then, I felt like I really should clean up, if only to help out. I opted for the middle ground, organising the dishes so at least the plates were stacked, mugs all gathered together, so that whoever did clean up had an easy time of it. I wandered back into the dining room to see Roswell and Tyson facing one another. Quickly I looked to the others, who seemed to be swapping looks just as confused as I was.
What do you want?
Roswell seemed to be ready to say something, his brow furrowed as he thought things through. It then clicked. I knew what he was about to say.
Well, everyone is here. I want to apologise.
For what?
Well, you know what for.
Tyson looked Roswell over, eyes narrowing only slightly before he nodded to the ball.
All right.
Everyone seemed to be giving Roswell the floor, so to speak, and just as well.
Well, I'm not going to lie. He was the last person I wanted to come on this trip with us. You were an asshole to us when we were younger. I hated you for that.
This is a great apology so far.
I'm getting there. It's that very attitude that frustrates me. How can Dave move on from that? What does he even see in you? But that doesn't matter. It really doesn't. Me not being able to move on shouldn't and doesn't invalidate any improvements you've made to yourself in the time I wasn't around. So by extension, me taking it out on you, taking pot shots when I had no right to, put me in the wrong, no matter the reason. So, I'm sorry.
Tyson sighed, scratched his neck.
Look, I get it, I do. I don't think you had the balls, to be honest, but I'm glad you got to vent whatever it was. But sure, apology accepted. While I'm at it, I'm sorry too. Nothing makes up for it, but that's how it goes. Really? Look, getting invited to this thing was great of Dave to do, if, a dick move on his part.
Everyone in the room looked to me and I stared back at Tyson, uncertain of what he meant. What did I do?
Well, I wasn't going to say this, but it seemed like a jerk move to invite Tyson along without checking with us.
Alright, it seems like something you'd want to run by everyone first.
Sorry, Dave, but if I knew you were going to invite Tyson, yeah.
I'm sorry too. Oh, are you sorry, Sal? You do something wrong too? Not that I know of, but it seems to be what everyone is doing.
Well, hey, no need to apologise if you've done nothing wrong.
True. But Dave, why didn't you check in with everyone?
Yeah, Dave, I think that's a fair enough question to be asking. You think everyone has said no? Well, kinda, yeah.
Then, why?
I looked at Tyson, had his attention on me too. He's my friend. And that's enough, pup. It's not all on him. I knew what the go was. I accepted anyway, so there's that.
Okay, well, I'm sorry, but...
No, but you own up to it like a man.
I whined, hanging my head. It was my fault. I should have checked.
Roswell, Orlando, I'm sorry. Especially to you two, I should have, checked. Well, this vacation was meant to be for all of us, so it would have been nice to know who you decided to invite. I can't hold it against you, it's not like I bothered to check. Would you feel the need to check, Roswell?
No, probably not.
The upside, though, at least from my end, I've noticed a change. I didn't really want to make a big deal about it, but I've also been keeping my distance. But if you're sorry about not checking with us first, Dave, I forgive you. What sort of friend would I be if I held that against you and let it sour the vacation? Right, ditto. All is forgiven. Well, not everything, but we're well on our way. At least as far as you and me, Dave, we're good. And of Tyson, I'm willing to keep a more open mind. Not necessarily about a clean slate, but only one way forward. Same here, but we'd have to call each other out on behaviour and decisions. To avoid incidents like a couple of days ago.
Well, I think that's fair, right? That extends to everyone, right?
Of course.
There are rumbles of agreement from everyone. With apologies out of the way now, we split up. We split up for a couple of minutes to round up some games. With the rec room being taken up with the others watching TV, we figured we'd take another room so we just weren't talking over their show. Oh, Sal, what did you grab? I don't know. I just grabbed one at random from the shelf. What shelf? The one in the rec room. The others were talking about what to watch, so I went and took one before they could notice. He held the box in his hands, rattling it gently as he did so. Boggle, does this count as a board game? Not really, but I know how to play this one. You roll the dice in the box and make words with the letters.
Oh, neat, I guess.
I don't know how well I do go with something like that. I could go grab another one.
Oh, no need, Sal. We have alternatives. Yeah, check it out.
The other two flash boxes of their own.
I figured they were in a mansion. I grabbed Clue.
Isn't that being a little insensitive?
Oh, no, I like this game. What's wrong with this one?
I felt the eyes fall to me, making me sigh out. Sure, the idea of a murder in a mansion was a little too close to home, but I hadn't thought of anything of it, given it was just a game.
Well, I grabbed Mousetrap.
Oh, I've played that before. I like putting all the pieces together when you set it up.
You mean when you play, right?
No, you set up all the pieces before you can play, right?
Is the game all that complicated? I haven't played it before.
You put together a little machine and try not to get caught, I think. It's kind of neat, but I think the copy I had was missing a few parts.
Oh well, where does this leave us? You grab Boggle, Dave? Because if this is a contest of words, prepare to lose.
Oh no, this was Sal's. Roswell turned to Sal, suddenly grin and wavering.
You dare challenge me to a game of words, Sal?
Oh, okay. I looked to Orlando, confused.
I didn't expect you to keep up. Let's try an easy one. What's an enophile, Sal?
Without even thinking about it, Sal replied. Oh, that's a lover of wine.
Okay, perhaps that was too easy. How about Sonic?
Even I'm not sure how to pronounce that one.
Bless you. I didn't sneeze.
Anything that relates to the underworld or just underground things, depending on how you're using it. I think his quick replies had stunned Roswell. Perhaps he'd just not expected it to come from Sal of all people. What's the matter?
I honestly didn't imagine your vocabulary was so broad. You barely talk.
Just because I don't talk doesn't mean I don't know words.
I guess not. Sorry, I just assumed wrong.
Oh, I don't mind. If you'd started to give me advice, then we might have had some issues.
Anyway, what did you bring, Dave? Anything good?
Oh, I just had a pack of Uno cards in my bag, so I grabbed that.
So if the only actual board game's a Clue and Mousetrap?
I'm happy to play Uno. I know how to play that.
And no offence, but I'd much rather play Uno than Clue, knowing how Sal's interpreted how Mousetrap works.
Roswell, seemingly still awestruck by what Sal came out with, sat down on the floor cross-legged and Sal joined him. Orlando sat the games we collected off to the side and joined him on the floor. I shuffled the cards and took a seat, dealing them out. To my left was Roswell, to my right was Orlando, and Sal sat across from me.
Play proceeds on the left of the dealer, right? Which means I go first.
He placed the card down, passing his turn to Sal. Skip.
What do you mean, skip?
Skip. I skip you. So that's my turn, right? Reverse?
Wait, no, now you're skipping me.
Oh no.
Draw 2.
Draw 2 as well.
Wait, what? Are we playing with those rules? I'm fairly certain you can't do that.
Well, that's how we played at home, I think.
But those aren't the rules. I don't really want to be picking up 4 cards, so draw 2. Sorry, Dave.
Wait, now I have to draw 6? I sucked it up and drew more cards as Orlando placed another card down. Went round a few times where it was clear that someone was about to win.
Oh no.
Roswell placed a card down, flashing his last card in hand. What it was I wasn't sure, but I caught that it was red. Oh no. Sal's poker face was strong. I didn't know what he had remained as he placed his last card down.
Oh no.
Same for Orlando. I looked at the cards in my hand, and no matter what I played, it seems the game was probably going to be over by the time my turn rolled round again. I could play a wild card and keep the colour red, meaning Roswell would win. Or alternatively, I could skip Roswell and see if Sal had something to play. Or I could reverse it back to Orlando and hand him the victory. My brow furrowed as I looked over my cards, thinking it over.
Come on, Dave, it's your turn.
So close.
And I was a bit too slow, I guess. Oh well.
I let each of them in turn before deciding. I play...
Game, set and match.
I barely put the card down and looked at Roswell, a broad grin on his face even before I'd made eye contact. Looking over the card in his hand, Roswell showed us the red card in his hand, casually placing down the pile atop the card I played. Oh, good game.
Next one will go to me, Roswell, just you wait.
I gathered up the cards and shuffled, noticing halfway through that Roswell had his hand out for the deck.
My turn to deal, Dave.
We played game after game, each one seemingly revealing that none of us had the same understanding of what the rules were. At some point I remember looking behind me to see Ty and Dean walking by talking about something, but I didn't catch the details of the conversation. I must have been zoning out, so the next thing I knew Orlando was nudging me with a deck of cards.
Bertha, Dave, it's your turn to shuffle.
Oh, sorry, I guess I must have been daydreaming.
About what? Anything good?
I don't know, maybe I'm just tired. Is it time for a break? I wouldn't mind one.
Then let's have a break, gives us a chance to get a drink and maybe do something else for a bit. Well, that sounds like a break and more like just stopping in time. Oh, well, I guess it does. Not that's a bad thing, might not be a bad idea to check on the others anyway. Well, if there's a break we're doing, I think I might head down to the kitchen for a snack. In that case, I might head downstairs too, maybe go sit outside for a bit.
We headed downstairs. I noticed that without breaking stride, Orlando and Roswell split off in different directions. After glancing between the two, I followed Roswell toward the kitchen. Roswell wandered over the pantry, throwing it open and looking around. Roswell?
Yes?
In the next moment, Roswell already grabbed a bag of chips, turned to me while rummaging still with his free hand. What are you doing?
I'm stocking up.
For what? Won't you spoil your dinner?
Well, not when I'll be the one making it.
Wait, since when?
Oh, just now. That was no problem, right?
As if making his point further, he lightly jostled a bag of candy in his other hand.
I don't think that's how that works. Besides, what do you need all of this for anyway? Well, it's a snack, for studying. You're studying, but we finished school, you don't need to study. Okay, then what if I want to study?
Oh, well.
Also, I have something I want you to show you, something neat.
This sounds like a ploy to get me to study with you.
I solemnly swear on the candy I hold I won't make you study.
Okay, but I do get some of that, right?
I don't know, you seem to have issues about it spoiling your dinner. But you said... Got you. Now come on, to the study.
Roswell led the way, snacks bundled up in his arms as we made our way back upstairs. Something seemed off, and it was only when we reached the top of the stairs I realised what the problem was. Roswell,
what is it, Dave?
This is the museum. You said the study, right?
Right, that's where we're going. Okay, just here, hold these for me.
He thrust the snacks at me and I scrambled to keep them from falling.
Alright, check this out.
Roswell wandered over to the nearby bookcase and with a confident smile started to push. Or at least he tried.
Come on, move already.
I watched as he strained against the bookcase, trying to push it with seemingly no effect.
No, I can do this, just...
He doubled over, braced himself already out of breath.
What were you trying to do? This bookcase is actually a door. I was trying to slide it aside so we could get inside.
Into what? The study?
Exactly.
Oh, well now I have questions.
Questions?
Well, yeah, like... How did you find out about this anyway?
Would you believe she had dumb luck?
Oh, well.
Alright, I confess. It was sheer intelligent luck.
I gave him a look, trying my best to look unimpressed with what his reasoning was. Don't make me drop these snacks, Roswell.
Okay, fine. I discovered this, let's see, probably on the first day we got here.
There isn't really anything important in it. It's more like an adjoining room.
But very much like a little private study nook.
I swear, Roswell, I've slam dunked these chips so hard.
Hey, wait. I just thought it'd be a neat thing to show you is all.
But how are we meant to get in? You sure this is the right bookcase?
Positive. But I don't remember how I opened it last time. Maybe it was already unlocked. I sort of just leaned on it and it was, it moved aside.
I looked over the books and noticed two that seemed familiar.
I wonder what?
If the locking mechanism was the same as the one in conservatory, then opening it seemed easy enough. Given one of the books was on a higher shelf, Roswell would have had no chance of opening it without some sort of footstool. I pulled two of the books and heard a familiar click. Can I try pushing?
Why, you think you'd be able to magically open it? Because I doubt that your magic outstrips mine, Dave.
I rolled my eyes, taking Roswell's place as he shuffles out of the way. He's more than happy to take his snacks back while I size up the bookcase.
Well, go on then.
Giving him a confident smirk, I lightly placed my palms against the bookcase and pushed without breaking eye contact. Open, says me. Sure enough, a gentle push was all it needed now that the way forward was unlocked.
How?
Magic. I chuckled to myself, seeing Roswell bothered about my answer, but he seemed intent to stare me down all the same.
What was it you always told me when I asked you about how you did your magic, Roswell? Yeah, good magician never reveals their secrets.
You just see what I did if you're paying attention. It wasn't that complicated, really.
So it wasn't magic?
Nah, just a trick, though. I'll show you later. For now, just show me what's so special about the study. Roswell scurried on forward into the next room, gesturing me to follow with a bag of candy. I stepped into the next room and looked around. It looked very much like the private nook that Roswell described. If he'd told me there was just an adjoining room, I'd have thought it was a completely different one.
Ta-da! Study.
Huh, neat. So this was here the whole time?
As far as I know, there isn't really anything like in here of note, though.
He's right, there's very much just a desk in here, very little else. Given how much materials in the museum itself, it was surprising to see even more books on display here, although none seemed to stand out. That said, what was the last time you were in here, Roswell?
Oh, let's see. Not for a while at least. I was considering coming in here the other day, but I couldn't get it open.
You thought today would be different?
Hey, that's not fair. I could have gotten lucky and opened it this time.
Yeah, well, turns out your luck this time was just me knowing how to open it.
Hey, I'll count teamwork as a form of luck. Maybe we were just meant to be in here today.
I took another look around the room before looking back to Roswell.
I'm not too sure about that. Things just have a way of working out. Maybe it's Providence, maybe it's some magic, but it's always been something I liked about being around you.
Me, what did I do?
Or sometimes nothing at all, but maybe it's some guiding force that makes me feel as though you and I are always meant to cross paths.
I don't get it. Roswell sat the bag of chips down and opened the bag of candy, digging around for a handful before shuffling it in his mouth. He chewed, looking thoughtful, before turning to me once he'd swallowed.
Okay, so whenever I find myself having trouble and you show up, a lot of my problems just disappear, right?
Really?
Like what? Or just little things. Let's take the bookcase. I wanted it open so I could show you, and who just happened to know how to open it after I failed?
Oh, I think I get it.
It's always been like that, though, ever since the first day we met. You remember, right?
Not really.
You don't?
I mean, we were really young, right?
Well, yes, but do you remember specifically?
Give me some candy first.
Oh, wait, that's it, wasn't it? Whatever do you mean?
It was a cold winter when Roswell and I first met. Very cold. We didn't put a damper on people's spirits, though, given Christmas was right around the corner. I still remember how bitter the cold was, but how pretty all the snow made the street look. Maybe it's just Christmas skewing my views on it. As a kid, playing in the snow was something you just looked forward to, even if it came with being bundled up by your parents. The memory of something that was slowly coming back to me. After all, most days from back then bled together. On one such day, there's someone I hadn't seen before. The house next to us had been empty for a while. For a week or so ago, a new family moved in. Dad had let me go outside on my own to play, and what greeted me was a young boar trying desperately to build something in the snow. As I wandered over, he noticed me, dropping all the snow he had amassed in his hands. Oh, hello. Hello. The young boar sniffled, taken in. Well, I guess it wasn't any higher than you expect from a kid, but... Who are you? Are you? And no, I can't get the right pitch. His eyes darted from me to the snow structure he's working on before looking back to me again. Are you here to help? Oh, no, not really. Oh, okay. We stared at one another before I remembered what I'd been taught about good manners, or at least remembered what Mom and Dad had told me about meeting someone new. Oh, I'm Dave. Nice to meet you. Oh. There was no follow-up, just his exclamations of realising what had just been said to him, answering his question from before. Who are you? Do you live in that house? Oh yeah, Mommy, Daddy and me came here before. Now it's our house. Oh, I'm your neighbour. I live in this house next to yours. Oh. Then we can be friends. I'm Roswell. Suddenly Roswell had grabbed me and hopped up and down on his feet, gesturing to his creation in the snow. Mommy and Daddy said I may make a friend when we get to the new house. That's you. Oh, okay. But I need help. Can you help me? I can ask my dad. He can help us. He can. Is he a friend too? Yeah, he's my best friend. The comment seemed to turn the boar off, making him shuffle uncomfortably on the spot. Oh. He almost sounded sad at that remark, looking to his snow sculpture. I'm making a best friend. I've never had one before. You're so lucky. Oh, but I can be your best friend. Really? Roswell squealed happily, once again hopping up and down. And best friends get chocolate. We do? Now it was my turn to bounce happily. Dad had always kept sweets high above where I could reach for some reason, so any excuse to have some was fine by me. I remember Roswell holding out his hands expectantly for me to hand him something. Oh, chocolate, please. Oh, I don't have chocolate. Oh no, but what will we do without chocolate? First I could make a best friend, now my new best friend doesn't have chocolate. Oh, no best friend for Roswell now. He sniffled, hanging his shoulders. I felt bad having let my new neighbour down. I didn't see it as blackmail at the time. What if we finish making the snow friend? You'll help me finish it. Yeah. Oh boy. Then Roswell will have a friend for Christmas. Oh, what's wrong? I thought that we could be friends. Really? Then let's be best friends. But I don't have chocolate. I don't mind. Oh. So the two of us started to assemble this creation he planned, scooping snow into a pile until it was too tall for him to reach. This is why he couldn't finish it. Without the height to put a head on this thing, he was stuck making something smaller than him, and apparently that wouldn't do. Sure enough, when the time came, I rolled up a ball of snow like Dad had shown me and placed it on top. It was wonky, but what we'd made looked something like a board, to say the least. Okay, now we need the teethies. Yeah, like yours. Oh, yours? What does that mean? You're a meanie. No, I'm not. You're a meanie. No, you. He pushed on me, trying to knock me over instead, falling into the snow flat on his face. Ow. Are you okay? I'm okay. But what can we use for the teethies? Oh, let me get something from my house. You'll come back. Yeah. Okay. I remember running inside and bumping into Dad, trying to explain what had happened. He just laughed and helped me find something to take out to continue playing in the snow. When I got back, there he was, sitting in the snow. I'm back. You're back. I held up the carrots that Dad had given me, one in each hand, before plunging them into the head of our creation. They jutted up like tusks, and I turned to see what Roswell thought of my finishing touches. He seemed to gently touch his own tusks before reaching out and lightly poking the carrots while bouncing on the spot. Oh, it's done. It's friend-shaped. Thank you, Dave. Thank you. Oh, you're welcome. You really are the best friend. My best friend. I had a smile on my face, having recalled Roswell and I first meeting. From the looks of things, he'd been reminiscing as well. His eyes darting to catch my gaze while looking away just as quick. Well, you remember our first meeting as fondly as I do, Dave. It was cold, huh? All right. Roswell shoved another fistful of candy into his mouth while holding the bag out to me. They were fruit gummies, so I took a couple and chewed them while Roswell wandered over the desk in the room.
Dave.
Yeah?
I just,
He's fidgeting on the spot, unsure what he should say or do as far as I could tell. What's wrong?
Oh, nothing at all. Just ever since then, I've always seen you as my best friend. Whether it's more than that or only that, I don't know. So, even if Orlando's your current best friend, you're still mine. Always have been.
I laughed, nervous. So between flattened and nervous, I didn't really know how best to respond. Almost in response to me starting, Roswell started to snicker to himself, moving into a full giggling fit.
So, we should probably get to studying, huh?
Oh, right, you came in here to study and wanted to show me the room, right?
Right.
But what were you studying?
Oh, well, I've been trying to find this book you were telling me about.
I gave him a blank stare, confused.
The one you described seeing when...
He finished his thought by tapping his head, getting his point across. Oh, neat. Roswell shook his head, sighing out.
Well, I think I found it, but I like having a place to sit while I look over books.
Oh, well,
Here, let me just go get it, just a sec.
I watched as Roswell abandoned his snacks on the desk, doubling back into the museum to retrieve something. While he hummed to himself in the room next door, I looked at the chips that he grabbed. The assumption was that Roswell would have grabbed something he liked, but maybe it was just what was in the pantry. Still, I don't mind BBQ. I opened the packet and grabbed a few, cradling the packet while I held as a snack, watching as Roswell came back into the study.
What are you doing?
Chips.
I can see that.
Did you find your book?
Oh, right, yeah, I think I found it.
He set a large book down on the desk, patting the dark blue cover.
This look familiar?
Well, I swallowed, figuring talking my mouth full of chips wasn't the way to go.
Maybe. Remember I told you the book was open, right? Well, it does make things harder. Well, anyway, let me show you what I found.
When did you find this?
You seem to be very keen on asking me when I did anything.
Can you blame me?
No, I guess not. I'll try and find time to come back in after we did our own property investigation. After all, the only way to discount is a bad dream is to search everything, right?
I guess.
But you seemed a lot more torn up about it when we went looking. What changed? What, am I not allowed to think about my mortality and choose to face it head on? I don't think the others would be so willing to disprove their own demise.
Sure. So long as you're okay, I think I'm fine with it. I have had things on my mind to work through anyway. You wanted help with your stuff.
Oh, come on, Dave. It's not all doom and gloom. I don't know, prefer things this way. It's like a game almost.
Well, all right.
Now, on to the discovery. Forgive the turn of phrase.
Roswell flipped open the book he'd found and turned to a page. Sure enough, it looked familiar, the word discovery right there in plain view.
That's it, that's the page.
You're certain?
Pretty sure, yeah. Oh, fascinating. Well, maybe not fascinating so much as just a coincidence.
Why's that?
Well, this book in particular is about the development of cures for anything and everything going on in the brain. Most of it is just theoretical stuff, but still.
You've read this whole thing already?
Oh, don't be silly, I've only skimmed it. I do have a copy of this book back at my place. I think it belongs to my mom.
Huh?
I think it is. The section that this is, the one that you're finding familiar, it's about brain cancer.
Wait, really?
Yeah. Explains how you get diagnosed with it, plus the treatment plan, but it also goes into some theoretical stuff about potentially using plants for new drugs to combat the spread of the cancer cells in your body.
Another handful of chips crunching on them loudly. I watched as Roswell's expression shifted as I crunched, shooting him a confused look.
You are listening, right?
Nodding quickly, I swallowed.
Yeah, but I don't get why it's important. Well, just some of the things around you hint that maybe someone was stockpiling materials to make something like a drug to combat cancer.
Someone? Like who? Roswell scratched his chin, thinking.
Well, maybe someone that lived here? The person whose house this is makes the most sense to me anyway.
Sure, but you still haven't said why.
Well, all the books should cover medicine. Some of the research reports, others delve into medicinal properties of various plants and fungi. I was curious and took a peek in the greenhouse myself. Even asked Dean what he knew about what was in there. Most of what he could identify readily lined up with what I'd seen mentioned in the books. Well, if I had to guess, this mansion doubled as something else, maybe as a research facility at some point. That or someone's got a really quirky hobby. My hand was already rummaging in the packet of chips, still waiting for Roswell to tell me how he thought it was important. Maybe I just find the irony that I was bludgeoned in the head by a book about curing head-related issues a bit on the nose, honestly. Well, I didn't know what the book was about, so... And if I told you the book was written by my mother? You can't be serious. Roswell closed the book and showed me the cover, pointing to the embossed name at the bottom. Roswell, that's not your mother's name. Oh, it totally is. Your mother's name is Guy Mannington? He just laughed, setting the book down again. It could just be a pen name, you never know. Roswell grabbed his candy and shoved another handful into his mouth. We left the book in the study, heading back into the museum. So, time to study? Or something like that. I figured I'd maybe do some sleuthing of my own and maybe piece together who actually lives here. It's the least I can do for not paying attention to my parents beforehand, right? Oh, then can I help? What happened to not wanting to study? Well, sure, but this is less studying and more like a game, right? Well, in that case, grab a book and let's start looking into things. Are we just doing it at random like we did the other day? Well, we could, but I'd advise against it. Chance that you find anything worth randomly is, well... I wiped my hand so it was clean enough to handle books and looked over the bookshelf I was next to. All these books look the same, Roswell. Oh no, you might get lucky and pull the right book. Yeah, I'll even let you officially borrow some of my luck if you're that worried. Well, I reached out to the books on the shelf trying to decide which one to pull out first. Some of them had words on the spines, others were completely blank. Just pick one, Dave. Okay, fine. How's it? I turned to him as I pulled a random book off the shelf. It slid in free easily enough, but dragging something along with it that landed on my foot. Why is... You can't be serious. I placed the book down on the floor and picked up the medal that landed on my foot. Guess this was tangled up against the cover or something? Okay, that's enough borrowing of my luck. I want it back now. Aren't we on the same team, though? This is just a win for us, right? True, but I feel like it's maybe a little too convenient. Maybe best we don't tell the others this find right away. Well, if you say so. Which one is this anyway? It looks kind of like handcuffs, maybe? Handcuffs? Let me see. I handed over the medal for Roswell to take, and his face scrunched up the moment he flipped it over to see what I was talking about. The next moment he threw the medal down hard, narrowly missing his own foot. I swear, today's a mess. Did I do something? Of course not. Did the medal do something? Roswell knelt down and picked up the medal, shoving it into my face, slightly brushing it against my nose. Do you know what sign this is? Handcuffs? No. Space handcuffs. Dave, come on, be serious. Only trying to lighten the mood, I don't know which one it is. With a sigh, Roswell shook his head. Cancer, the crab. Oh, so it wasn't handcuffs or pinches. I suppose so. I glanced at the chips in my hand and offered them out to Roswell. No, it's all right. Hello? Oh no, what? Dave, up for some fun tonight? What kind of fun? I think it'd be good if we got to unwind a bit tonight. Relive some of the old times. A good old slumber party with just the two of us. Didn't we do that the other night? No, something for best friends only. So, Orlando's coming. No, Dave, just us. I have the snacks and everything already prepared. Well, yeah, obviously just us. But where did you get all the snacks from? You didn't bring them with you, did you? Roswell, tell me you didn't bring them with you. Then I won't. After dinner, let's just, I don't know, will this be classed as a date? I don't know. Is it one? I'll leave that up to you. But I figure something to take your mind off of things would do you some good. I know it's what I need, and if I can involve you as well, then all the better. I nodded slowly as he reached out and put a hand on my arm, flashing me a smile. So how about we just relax and chill until it's time for dinner, then when that's done we can get this party underway. I watched as Roswell pored over books most of the afternoon. He looked so determined, if troubled by something. He was in the zone though, and I knew better than to take him from it while he frantically searched for answers to questions he hadn't voiced. At some point I moved from playing catch with the medal to pulling out a book from the shelf and settling in. While Roswell had opted to continue to pull books on stuff far too academic for my liking, I started working through easy-to-read stories. Sure enough, Oswin's dislike of rabbits was coming through with how many of them seemed to be immediately cast as criminals or villains in the stories. It wasn't just one book either, but multiple that I flicked through.
Found myself wondering why rabbits, of all things. Closing the book I had last grabbed, I leaned back against the bookcase and thought. Were these originals or edits of originals cater to someone's racist preference in reading material? It was something I tucked into the back of my mind just in case it came up again later. By the time dinner rolled around, Roswell and I filed into the kitchen, a notable spring in his step with him leading the way. Seemed like he was serious about taking charge of dinner tonight. Still riding high from before, looking forward to this slumber party. Of course, why wouldn't I be? Roswell wandered around the kitchen, picking up bits and pieces in the pantry before turning back to me. You know, I think today turned out pretty well, don't you? I wasn't expecting you to apologise to Ty so quickly, and then all the coincidence in the study. That seemed to be the wrong thing to say, his expression soured quickly. That is to say, I think it was good that you did, though. Thank you for that. Well, you're welcome. I was thinking about it a bunch. I asked myself what you do. Me? For me, I tried avoiding the fight if I could. Sure, but that's not what I meant. I just asked myself what you would do. The only thing I could imagine is you chiming in with, do the right thing, Roswell. I mean, yeah, I'd probably say that. See, so I thought about it and figured that the right thing to do would be apologise. I've taken the first step, but I still want to see something from him. But, no buts, I'm willing to give him the chance, but you can't fight his battles for him. But enough about that, we have dinner to make and a party to get to. You sure, Roswell? Like, we can reschedule if that's better. Of course I'm sure. You mean well, and it's awesome that you'll jump in to defend those you care about. You can't always be throwing yourself in danger like that. Be the death of you if you're not careful. Forgive the turn of phrase. No, I mean, okay, fine, but that's not what I meant. What did you mean? I meant about dinner to make. We have Benson around, so... True, but I can pull my weight too. Besides, I cooked with Dean once. I can do it by myself just fine. But how much of that did Dean do? Ah, well, you see, he may have done most of the work, but I did all of the pasta. Right. Once more, Roswell started to wander around the kitchen, collecting things before setting them on the counter. I had an idea for dinner anyway. It should be easy enough to make. Okay, but what is it? I came to help, but what should I be doing? Oh, can you steam rice? Maybe. Maybe. I assumed you could do that. And you don't? Well, I sort of know. I think I could figure it out. Okay, so skipping the rice, what are we having with it? Oh, mushroom curry. You can curry mushrooms. Oh, is curry even a verb here? That doesn't matter, just how do we make the thing? Well, I was thinking we could just make it like a spicy stew, right? That's basically the same thing. Not too spicy, I hope. Oh, of course not, but that'll be up to you. Why me? Look, it wasn't too bad the other night. My nose isn't as good as I gave it credit for. Yours is much better. Oh, I guess it's pretty good, but what makes you think I'd be good with spices? It's not how it works. Oh, shoot, I'm sorry. There goes me assuming things I shouldn't. Well, I'm happy to give it a try. What's the worst that could happen? Well, worst case scenario, we will set the place on fire, right? Or there are at least burnt dinner. Yeah, let's aim for better than that. Agreed. Roswell went about chopping up some mushrooms and I started peeling potatoes. If we were making a curry or like a stew, we'd need potatoes. By the time I'd done, Roswell was already throwing things into a large pot along with the bits he'd pulled from the pantry. Alright, Dave, thank you to add your special touch on this. Oh no, I don't have any special touches. I just... You have just temples for going back to stir the pot further. What else should we add to this? Well, I added potatoes. What did you add? I cut up some of the mushrooms I brought in from the forest. Nothing overly fancy if there were some in the pantry too. And you're sure that's safe? Oh, positive. What about onion? Oh, could do onion. Salt, pepper, nutmeg. Does nutmeg go in stew? I pulled a face and shrugged, only clutching at straws. I didn't really know, and it seemed as though Roswell didn't know either. Well, let's wing it. How bad can it be? I'll do the onion and you do the rice. Oh, maybe we can add stuff to the rice to make that tasty too, like garlic? Butter? Both. Both is good. After a little bit of trial and error, the two of us managed to get dinner sorted and brought it out so we could all eat. Having eaten our fill, Dean leaned back in his chair, sighing out and looking at Roswell. Well, so what was in that anyway? Oh, just some of the mushrooms I picked in the woods. Nothing dangerous, I hope. Given how much I ate, I might be in trouble. They were fine, I promise you.
Just some paddy straws, nothing fancy, I promise. The rest were from the kitchen, from the grocery store, I'm assuming.
What about the rice?
Oh, we added butter and garlic to it for steaming it. Yeah, I thought it'd be a little more rounded out than just normal plain rice. What's wrong with normal steamed rice? The stew stuff was heavy enough as it was. I'm just trying to be fancy, that's all. It's not really enough for another whole meal anyway, so I guess it works out. I know, it tasted fine to me. I saw Roswell start to say something before forcing himself back, scratching his head instead.
Well, I'm not picky. I would eat that again.
Same here. In any case, thanks for dinner, Roswell. Oh, thanks, Dave. Well, I'm going to clean up dinner. I made the mess, so I may as well clean it.
Can I help? It doesn't seem fair for you to do all the work.
Oh, well, if you want to, I'm not going to say no, but don't feel pressured to, honest.
It'll get done faster that way. I'll meet you in the kitchen.
I'll help you out too, Roswell. No point in going on ahead. Are you sure? Absolutely. Between the two of us, it shouldn't take too long, just as Sal said. I can't argue with that. All right, let's get this done and settle in for the night. We brought everything to the kitchen, ready to start cleaning. Okay, time for the dishes. Yeah, I'll wash the plates and then Sal can do the glass later. But first, you're on rinsing duty, Dave.
You wash the glass first.
What?
You wash the glass first.
It doesn't matter that much, does it?
I started rinsing the plates as Sal looked Roswell over, sizing him up. It matters. If you do the glass first, then the water is clear. If you do the plates first, all the grime gets on the glass and makes it cloudy.
It can't be that noticeable, is it?
Fine, do the plates first.
No, wait, I'll listen.
Sal threw his arms up in a shrug and started bringing more things over to me to rinse, with Roswell close behind.
Sal, teach me how to clean dishes properly.
After I rinsed the dishes, I stood back while Sal taught Roswell to do dishes. I just assumed that Roswell would know and Sal wouldn't, but maybe it's just a thing that Roswell was eager to know. It was him to a fault, always learning, always seeking out new bits of knowledge. Still, Sal seemed to be a good teacher, but I got the impression that maybe he's treating Roswell a little too much like a younger sibling with how he's phrasing his instructions. Not that Roswell seemed to mind, at least. At some point I wandered off, figuring I should get a shower in for whatever Roswell was planning. Maybe it's just the fact the museum was a lot dustier than I gave it credit for. Once I stepped into the shower, I felt the dirt and grime wash away the longer I stood there. Or maybe it was the idea that Roswell put into my head about it being a potential date. I found myself scrubbing myself a little bit harder than I normally would, just to be sure. After all, if you're going on a date, you may as well look your best. Was that a bit too presumptuous? Was it just a slip of the tongue? Even the thought of tongues made me bring a hand to my mouth, remembering the fact that Roswell and I had kissed, and if it's just another escalation from that, would it be that bold? If we were just sleeping, I figured I'd throw on a pair of sleeping shorts and grab my toothbrush. I assumed there'd be some level of sharing a bed tonight, so best to be prepared. I wonder if the Roswell's room had found him sitting on the bed, checking his phone for something, or waving me over. Well, Dave, I was wondering where you'd ended up. Just, shower and junk. Well, speaking of, I was about to take one myself. Patted some pyjamas folded neatly next to him before bundling them up under an arm. So make yourself comfortable, I shouldn't be too long. If you find yourself getting a bit cold, feel free to borrow a shirt, Dave, or use one of the spare blankets. Either works. Giggling to himself, he wandered into the bathroom to leave me with my thoughts. Closing the door behind me and shuffling over the bed, I looked around Roswell's room. It seemed as though he hadn't gone through the effort to clean his room before I arrived, but that hardly mattered. I took a load off by sitting on the bed, grabbing one of the spare blankets and draping it loosely over my head when a brief chill came over me. Before too long, Roswell emerged from the bathroom, dressed ready for bed. Oh, sorry to keep you waiting. Ready to get this party underway? I gave him a look, gesturing to his room. Looks like someone already had a party and we weren't invited. Well, I can sort of change that. By cleaning, because your room is a pigsty. Phrasing, Dave. I mean it though, I don't know anyone else this messy. Hey, busy room, busy mind. Or however the saying goes. So let me just get the last thing to make this complete and we can get started. I watched from the bed as Roswell started to turn over his clothes strewn over the floor, bundling up into his arms bags of snacks and candies they're all tucked away for safekeeping. Roswell? Yes? Did you deliberately hide things in your clothes or just... Oh no, just where they ended up. They're all new packets, so no need to worry about it. Now. Roswell dropped everything on the bed and got comfortable opposite me, sitting among a nest of snacks. This is a party. So we're just going to eat junk food. Yeah, and I don't know. He looked around his snacks and then wrapped a lollipop right into his mouth while passing me a cylindrical tube of chips. You like these, right? I smirked, rubbing my thumbs across the label. Thanks. Oh, what's it in you, Dave? I don't know how you can do it, flipping between being fine with things 1 minute and worried about them the next. Maybe that's just one of my superpowers. But I wouldn't give to have a superpower of my own, you know. It'd make things easier, that's for sure. Are you really sure about that? I think you're plenty special without needing to say laser beam eyes. I chuckled, smirking at all. Yeah, maybe. I mean it, you're plenty special. That's one of the reasons I love you, Dave. It didn't register immediately after he'd said it, but I did a double take after realising what he said. Did you just... What? You love me? Well, yeah, obviously. Isn't that why we kissed? Well, it doesn't have to be. I furrowed my brow, confused with what Roswell was getting at. Thankfully, he seemed to pick up on this and pulled the lollipop from his mouth to explain. There's a lot of different kinds of love. Paternal love, unrequited love, familial love. He grimaced, looking off the side while I continued to think. A gesture I mimicked, opting to look at the tube of chips in my hands. Fraternal love, romantic love, platonic love. Roswell. But then it's also unconditional love, obsessive love, love for sweets. Roswell. What? What's the point you're trying to make? One point I'm trying to make is, well, I know I love you, I just don't know where that falls just yet. But do I want to find out? Absolutely. What that makes us in the meantime, I don't really know. What about the others? Orlando seems pretty keen on setting me up with Dean. Well, I think I'm fine with that. End of the day, it's your call, and if by the time I figure it out and it's something more like romantic love, well, that's just a shame for me. I don't want to, upset you. And I'm not selfish to make you put your life on hold for me to figure it out. No one has time for that. Makes sense? Yeah, I guess so. I'm being honest, the whole vault thing, it's really messy with my priorities. No kidding, but still. You really have to loosen up, Dave. Roswell shook his head gently. As much as worrying about how I died is a thing, I feel like you need to maybe do some digging yourself. Sorry, was that stepping over the line? With a sigh, I shook my head. No, you're probably right, it's been long enough. I just missed a happy you is all. I know, sorry, it's enough about it, right? Right. But you are working on it, right? Slowly? Dave. I could be doing better, you're right. What am I going to do with you? He's important to me, Roswell. I can't just... What if I forget about him? What if I don't live up to his expectations? I deflated, hugging the blanket tighter around me. Oh, don't worry, you're not the only one that's told me they miss the old me. We sat in awkward silence for a while before I popped the lid on the tube I had given and tipped its contents unceremoniously into my mouth, half choking from how fast my mouth filled up. I munched and chomped, keeping my mouth full. There was something to be said about eating your troubles away, but maybe I just needed to indulge just this once and take a page out of Roswell's book. No sooner had I swallowed, I reached for a bag of candy, and Roswell joined in too, both of us ravenously devouring a large part of what he provided. At some point, the sugar rush turned into a sugar crash, and we passed out, half cuddled up together on the bed. It felt as though I'd eaten too much, and I didn't brush my teeth. I felt a little happier. Happy enough that I considered it a win. And there we are, that's the end of this update. So thanks for watching. As usual, now with the password updates, we'll have to wait for the next public release. And there'll be a couple more things going on there. And there's definitely 2 more VNs I'll be introducing soon. Maybe 3. I need to talk to someone about that. So yeah, there will be some new stuff along the old favourites going on as well. And hopefully a bit more often now things have hopefully calmed down. So until next time, bye for now.